Reset Podcast. And now your host, Jake Naraki.
What is going on, Reset Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Operation Self-Reset. I am Jacob Naraki, and thank you, like always, for joining me on this episode. Today, we have an awesome, energetic, inspiring, passionate, crazy, and he swears every once in a while, guest on the show. His name is Grant Cardone. He has a book called The 10X Rule. He's created some other products, and he is trying to reach the 7 billion people on this planet by inspiring them, giving them tips and tools when it comes to marketing, sales, and everything in between. You're really going to love this interview. I think you're going to like it. If you enjoy my enthusiasm, imagine his enthusiasm times like 5. You know, it's going to be crazy, intense. So can't wait for you guys to hear that. But before we get started, like always, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time and listening to this podcast. And also, too, I just recently completed an update to the Operation Self-Reset website. It is awesome. I got in contact with a gentleman named Sasha. He completed this total remake of the Operation Self-Reset platform. It is really, really cool. I would really greatly appreciate it if you had a second. Head on over to operationselfreset.com, or you can also go to osreset.com. Either one, it's your choice. And there is quite the introduction. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you what it says and what it does and all that stuff. I don't want to ruin it for you. I want you to have an open mind when you go to my website. It's something that you probably have never seen before on a website. It's totally new and ridiculous and crazy awesome. I personally believe I love it. If you don't love it, that's okay. But I want to hear your feedback because you guys are the reason why I'm doing this podcast and website and the blog and all that stuff. And I really would enjoy your feedback on it to let me know, am I knocking it out of the park or am I going overboard? So if you could head on over to operationselfreset.com, or you can also go to osreset.com. And when you're there, take a look at it, bounce around, and leave me a comment. Send me an email. Just go to ask@operationselfreset.com, ask@osreset.com, or on the website itself, you can go to the contact page and just send me an email from there. It would be greatly appreciated. You know, even a couple of words would be great. Just to let me know, did I do well with this design or did I totally botch it? So either way, it would be greatly appreciated. Going off of that, coming up here, a lot of other great interviews I got lined up. I'm going to continue with the Wednesday platform of Operation Self-Reset, but also make it known that I am going to start pulling away from the motivational minutes that I do launch on Monday mornings. Not because I'm going to stop them, but just because I'm actually going to pull them into their own podcast. It's going to be called Motivational Minute Mondays, and that will be coming out soon. I just want to give you guys a heads up, so if I stop for some odd reason and I forget to tell you in an upcoming episode, make sure to search for it on iTunes and you will find that podcast. But it's probably not going to happen until June or this summer, just to keep you in the loop. So with that being said, thank you like always. Here's the interview with Grant Cardone, and we will catch you on the backside of this really intense, passionate interview. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I am Jake Naraki. Today we have an amazing, intense, in-your-face kind of guy. He's smiling right now because he knows it too. He believes it, that self-belief is there. Grant Cardone, the 10X Rule, up in the Operation Self-Reset podcast. Grant, thank you so much for coming on. Look at you, styling the shades. I like it.
Bro, my future's so bright. And the people that hang with me and follow me and my wife and my employees, the people that work with me, my customers, we got to wear these, man, because the future is so bright.
I love it.
Otherwise, I'd be blinded.
That's very true. Right now, we're doing audio and video. So if you guys are checking this out on the podcast, make sure to head on over to the YouTube fan page. And also, too, Grant, where can they check out this video on your end?
We'll have it at cardoneuniversity.com. It'll be sitting there as a webinar.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Grant, like the reason why I got you on here is because I've heard you all over the place. You are a guy that hustles, that runs around like a crazy man, doing interviews and hustling for your job, hustling for your business, and I love it. I love the intensity, and I want some of that. And I think the people that are listening want some of that too. So that's why I had to get you on here. So let's dive into the 10X rule. I got the book in front of me. You have it all scattered throughout your desk there. What inspired you to get the 10X rule in paper and to inspire people?
Well, this is a book that I wrote. It's the fourth of 4 books. Okay. I guess that would always be the case if it's the fourth. I've written 4 books since the Lehman collapse. The first book was Sell or Be Sold. Then there was a book called The Closer Survival Guide, which is about closing and negotiating. The third book was called If You're Not First, You're Last, which is a New York Times bestseller. And what I learned about what was missing for people, they learned how to sell, they learned how to negotiate, which those are basic entrepreneurial skills. I mean, you have to have them. It doesn't matter what your business is, your company is. It doesn't matter. In life, you have to know how to sell and negotiate. Otherwise, you end up with the leftovers. Right. Which is one of the problems with millennials. They're ending up with the scraps, the leftovers of the economy, and you guys are not getting your share. So the third book I wrote was called If You're Not First, You're Last, and that book is about filling your pipeline up. Well, when I finished writing those 3 books, I had a lot of people writing me about goals, the inability to set goals, the inability to achieve goals, people that were having trouble staying with it. I mean, they had read the first 3 books and were doing good, but they kept saying, man, I'm having trouble staying with it. Yeah. And so I started investigating what is this problem that people have with goal setting? You know, they go to the Tony Robbins thing and they walk on fire on a weekend. And by Tuesday, they're like, dude, I'm out of juice again. My feet are burnt, but where's my juice? Or they set, the New Year's resolutions, and then they're going to quit losing weight, or they're going to start working out, or whatever the case is, and they give up on it. So I started really looking at what is the problem? Why is a handful of people seem to achieve enormous results in life over and over and over again? They build one business and then build another 11 businesses. They have all this success. It's like winning the lottery. I think there's some guy that just won 3 lottery tickets in 3 weeks. Jesus. It's this phenomenon. Like, it's like, what, dude, what? He won $1 million, then he won 50 grand, then he won another $1 million. Like, how do you do that? In business, if a guy runs 10 businesses, we're never like, oh my God, like that's a miracle, but it is. So I started literally studying what makes these people do what they do. And what I think it is, and what we codified in the 10X rule was, look, people are setting goals and targets that are too small. They're not interesting enough to fuel your tank. When you're a kid and you tell your mom at 8 years old that you want to become an astronaut, the first thing out of her mouth is, son, be reasonable.
Yes.
You even use that word in the setup. Socially, as a group of people, as 7 billion people on planet Earth, we have an agreement to be reasonable. This book suggests that you need to be unreasonable. You need to set targets that are not reasonable, that are 10 times bigger than whatever your dreams or goals are. So the concept of the book was, and we do this in workshops, hey, what's your financial goal? Let's just take finances as a goal. That would only be one part, but let's say you have a financial goal and the guy says $1 million. That's the normal answer that, by the way, that everybody gives. $1 million. Good. I want you to multiply times 10. Right. Now we're going to make it 10 million. And we're going to come up short on the 10 million. Because I can tell you this for sure, you're going to come up short on either goal. And if you're going to come up short, do you want to come up short on 1 million or 10 million?
10 million, of course.
And then we're going to build a plan, a 10X strategy to make sure that you get closer to the $10 million goal than you would have to the $1 million goal.
Okay. Now, those steps getting to that 10 million, are they different than getting to that 1 million?
The steps aren't any different. It's just the effort, the energy, the interest, the enthusiasm, the people, the the planning, I actually had somebody tweet me today on Mobia Insider. Mobia Insider is a place where I actually answer people's tweets.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's
a
place for people. They can directly ask me a question as opposed to a Twitter feed where I got, there's 23,000. I'll do 23,000 tweets this year. I can't find every tweet back to me.
Sure.
So a guy asked me today, he's like, how much planning do you do? I said, dude, I'm on the 10X plan, bro. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, there's no planning here. Okay. There's literally almost no strategy. There's so much activity. There's so much push and drive and pump and fill up the pipelines that stuff just starts gushing. Like, I didn't know you until you discovered me because of the activity online. Right. And then you find me, I find you. I mean, my goal here until the 10X rule, I had a goal of basically, I was doing vertical target marketing. I was marketing to an audience that would pay me money. This is what most entrepreneurs and businesses are told. It's wrong. You need to target planet Earth. The 10X rule, anybody completely gets the 10X rule, no matter what your business is, whether you're a sewing company or small social media company, whatever you do you want to target planet Earth? That's your new zip code targeting. Target 7 billion people, because I'll get somebody in China to talk to somebody in Miami that speaks English in Miami. They speak Mandarin in China. They talk. The guy ends up coming to me in Miami. He's my neighbor, but I had to get through him through a connection in China.
That's huge.
And that's the world today. You need to 10X all your 10X your strategies, 10X your efforts, and hang around some 10X beast friends.
Exactly. You know, and I love this because, you know, I'm a small fish in a big pond, you know, and hearing what you've researched and then what's in the book, it really inspires me to reach outside my comfort zone and just to hit it hard, you know, and I know you're all over the place. And let's relate it though back down to people that are listening, because I'm all jacked up, you know, off of your information because you're really, you know, a powerful guy. But let's talk about, like, you know, for the people that have these dreams and goals and aspirations and you know what, they have a normal job and they just feel worn down and they want to change, you know, it's called Operation Self-Reset, changing the person you are to the person you want to be. They just feel like they can't get over that initial hump to go, you know what, my career isn't what I want it to be. I want to have, you know, better relationships with my friends and family. They're just feeling all kind of like, I don't know. I don't feel like I have enough time to set myself up for success. What do you say to those types of people?
Dude, you got to get rid of the word normal. Okay. Normal means conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected. Who the hell is going to get excited about that? You ain't going to get a Woody over normal. Okay. Who's going to have an orgasm over normal? Nobody.
Normal people
Nobody,
will.
Man.
Normal people will.
Hey, yeah, but even normal people lose interest. Even normal people would be like, okay, I did it. It was good. I mean, can you imagine? Hey, you want to go to a movie this weekend? It's going to be an average movie. It's going to be an expected outcome. You're going to know everything that happens. Dude, who's going to drive to go to that movie or that event or that company? And this is the problem, okay? America. What made America great, it was an abnormal thrust and drive to create something that wasn't here. There was nothing being given to anybody. I mean, if you go back 200 years, people came here with just one thing. It's all up to me. If I'm going to do it, it's up to me. It's like Operation Self, reset. We got to reset self to say, I got to go out and get my marketplace. I got to get hungry, man. You're in a space right now in a time which is unbelievable, where it's the fast that eat the slow. It's not the big that eat the small. Okay. It's eat what you kill. Okay. And if you're going to go out normal and go for the normal food or normal money, you're never going to be excited because it's never going to work. And you know it.
Yeah. Speaking of normal, in your book, one part that I really love, it's actually in the first chapter, is about the herd mentality. Do you mind going through, you know, that process of how did you discover it and how to get people out of the herd mentality?
Yeah. You know, what I was looking to do, I was actually looking to get myself out of the herd mentality. I was trying to break out. Okay. Now, this is after 25 years of being in business. I had, you know, I was already financially extremely successful. I had the wife I wanted. I had one kid at the time. You know, other people would look into my life and say, dude, you got it made. I'm living in Lionel Richie's house in Hollywood Hills, California. You know, I can't lose the house. I got multifamily real estate paying me. I mean, everything looked beautiful, but one thing was missing. I knew for sure, without a doubt, that I was capable of more, that I could do more. And I'm starting to look at, man, all these people tell me I'm all over the place and I do all this and I do all that. Why am I not satisfied? And it's not because there's something wrong with me. Okay, it's not some psychological inefficiency. I'm not in love with myself. It's that I knew the truth, man. My potential was way up here. That there's a gap between what I was delivering in the marketplace, how much I could do, and what I was capable of doing. And so anytime a person operates at a normal level, the expected, the approved of social level, and you know there's a difference between what you're delivering and what you're capable of, you're going to be unhappy in your relationships. You're going to be unhappy with your money. You're going to be unhappy at your job. You're just going to be dissatisfied, regardless of how many people tell you, oh, you got it made. Oh, my God, you're so wonderful. But you know the truth. And so I looked at how much action can a person take? Well, there's 4 levels of action. I think this is what you're asking me. The herd mentality is operating on normal. They're operating on the 3rd level of activity. First, there's no activity. Number 2, there's a retreat. The guy actually backs away from the fight. The 3rd level is average. He'll have a fight every once in a while. And the 4th level of activity is, dude, I do massive, tremendous amounts of activity, which means I'll get paid to fight in the case of fighting.
What's okay, you're an intense guy. You have a lot of power, a lot of emotion. Were you always like this? I mean, did you grow into this personality? Did you grow into this enthusiastic, animal beast mode kind of guy? Or did this something that you realize, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being pushed around. I want something more in myself. And that.
Yeah, dude, I'm sick and tired of being pushed around. I don't want to be pushed around. I mean, I got to tell you, I want so much money that I'm hard to deal with. I had a guy that he's worth $700 million. And I'm like, he's got 700 million. And he looked at me. I said, how much money do you want, dude? He's like, money that I'm hard to deal with. And I'm like, dude, I want that kind of money. Who says that in our society? Who talks like that, right? Like, we don't talk about money in our society. Like, if I talk about this, I guarantee you're going to get some people say, he talked about money too much. So let's just go ahead and piss him off. Look, you need more money. Everybody needs more money, okay? Look, more is not a bad thing. And I know your question is, have you always been like this? But I was brought up to live on enough. I was brought up to believe, be satisfied, be grateful. It's the middle class pitch. We're told basically enough is enough, and be grateful that you have more than the people that are starving in India or wherever, right? Be satisfied. And I basically was brought up middle class, and I just got tired of it. I was like, man, we're worried about everything all the time. This is what the person that enough operates under enough. We have enough. He's always worried. She's always worried. They're always clipping coupons. There's never enough to go around, or at least you don't think there is. Maybe they have money, but they won't spend it. That's the miser. Dude, I want affluence. I want prosperity. I want money that's survivable. I want customers that are survivable. I want an economy, when an economy contracts again, I want to be the guy on the outside that's not affected by the problems. I want abundance in my life and prosperity in all my, not just money, but in my relationships, time freedom, book deals, fans, support, new opportunities. I think everybody wants affluence, not just enough, because enough is never enough. It really isn't. You find out one day everything contracts or implodes on itself, and the next thing you see is, oh shit, I didn't have enough customers, or I didn't have enough deals, or I didn't have enough in my pipeline.
Right. Going off financial, you know what? I'm a big believer in understanding. Zig Ziglar was a big influence to myself. I grew up with him. My dad played him in the car all the time. And there's a famous line that he says, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. It's give more than you receive. But you feel though you should get paid for that, though. I mean, giving what to help somebody, to inspire them, to motivate them, to give them ideas to set their goals, to that 10x. You believe it's worth giving those ideas, but also to reaping the benefits by quote unquote financial gain. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, look, I believe what Zig Ziglar said about help as many people as you can, and something will come out of it. But most people give up on this idea. They're like, man, I help this guy and I help that guy. Look, the 80% of what I do in my company is for free.
Sure.
I got 1,200 videos sitting on a YouTube channel. Anybody wants to check me out, you can find out everything you want to find out about me on YouTube, okay? You can get training there, education, tips, strategies. Just go to YouTube, put in Grant Cardone. You'll be watching. I dare you to try to watch just one of my videos, okay? It's like potato chips. You can't just eat one. So I believe in that formula that give, give a lot. Okay. But most people give up. They think 6 things is enough. Look, we live in a global economy now. You got Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+. I got Tumblr. I mean, you just keep naming them. Instagram, Pinterest. You can give so much content, but people are like, I don't have time to do all this. How do I find the time?
Right.
I got a new kid. I got a relationship. Dude, why don't you just advertise that you're a little bitch? Tell the whole world, I'm a little bitch. I'm a victim. Things are tough. I don't have the energy. And the reason you don't have the energy, and I understand that. Look, I got 2 kids. I got a wife. I got all the stuff. I'm trying to, spin the plates and balance it and all the stuff and deals and da-da-da. How do I make time? I make time to reach out to everyone. I'm like an octopus. I want 8 arms. I'm not satisfied with 2 of them. I'd like to put watches on all 8 arms, like Kanye says. And because you can do more, man. I don't operate like a human being. Yeah. I quit operating like a human being probably 12, 13 years ago. I'm like, I'm going to operate like I have 8 arms, 8 legs, and like I actually don't even have a body. Yeah. That I never get tired. I'm going to keep pushing. I can't burn at both ends like the candle. Don't burn the candle at both ends. Dude, it's just garbage. You can't burn at both ends. You can't get tired if you're excited about what you're doing.
You know, and that's the reason why I started this podcast and the whole concept of what I'm trying to portray to the audience. You know, I had my son 9 or 10 months ago. And the reason why I did it was because, you know, I work for the fire service and it's a very traditional mindset, you know, blue collar, you work hard, you do well for yourself. But, you know, everybody says when you have a kid, your life's over, you know, and I was like, nah, forget that. Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. And so I decided to launch this podcast on the day that he was born, you know, to prove to him that, you know what, I can still reach my goals and dreams and aspirations and raise a healthy, successful family at the same time, you know.
What's your son's name?
Nolan Naraki. Nolan Jacob Naraki.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to give him a middle name if he didn't have one. Call him 10X.
Yeah, we can squeeze that in somewhere.
That's cool, dude. Yeah. That's a great gift you gave your son, you know, to start this podcast. And it's like the gift your dad gave you, listening to Zig Ziglar rather than listening to something negative or having you watch cartoons. I mean, I was brought up on cartoons, dude. I mean, what kind of education is that to watch, I don't know, the cartoon, Tom and Jerry. I watched Tom and Jerry. You probably don't even know who Tom and Jerry was. They sat there and hammered each other. No. They sat there and hammered each other in the show, just punched each other out with skillets and stuff. And no wonder me and my twin brother beat each other up every day.
But you know what, though? You got so much animation from them. So that's why you're all energetic, you know, because it was a cartoon.
I don't know. Well, let me tell you, I kicked up my animation in 2008 when Lehman collapsed. Okay. That's when I was like, okay, you know what, bro? You got to get your hustle on deep, because the global economy and the U.S. economy that we're all in right now, people are not paying attention to what's happening right now, okay? There's only a small percentage of people actually making it financially in the world. And those people have a different mindset. They operate different. They push. They shove. Look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett reads most of the day. Most of the day is spent reading, okay? And then he surrounds himself with other people that are smarter than him. And what do they do all day? Read, study, okay? They invest time and energy. The average American reads 1 book a year.
That's crazy.
And then they're like, I don't have time. You don't have time for what, bro? You don't have time to go free? You're trying to make $60,000 a year, and I'm trying to go free. You're looking for 2 hours on the beach on a Sunday afternoon to get a sunburn, dragging your freaking igloo and your little thing that you sit on to the beach. You had to walk 6 blocks because you don't have any money. I'm trying to get enough freaking bank so I can go off for 2 years on a beach.
Yeah, but you know what though? You're a guy that's ingrained that you want.
No, dude, I am what people need to do. I am an example of what everybody should be doing right now. I'm not an aberration. I'm an example.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, see, I like that. I like that posing. That's good. Let's talk about though the people that are listening right now. All right, they want to reset their lives. They want to change. Besides the time and getting driven and all that stuff, like what do you feel and what have you learned throughout your business career that could help somebody take themselves to that next level, to stop, you know, complaining and the lack of confidence, all that stuff? Do you have, I know there's no such thing as a secret sauce. There's no one big thing.
But there is a secret sauce, okay? First of all, people need to get honest. You got to get honest with yourself in the situation. People are operating with data that's just not true, okay? Lots of it. It's all over the place. It was designed to trap people. Okay. Now when I started discovering the truth about what's going on, I started getting inspired. First of all, the middle class is a myth. Okay. It is a myth. It is a falsehood. It is not true. The politicians will never tell the American people this. Okay. You cannot live on 40, 50 or 60 grand a year. You have to figure out how to get another 30 or 40 grand. You must get more money, period. So the middle class is a myth. Education will not guarantee you get a good job. We have the highest, most educated group of people that have ever been launched into the United States of America that are being paid less money and have less chances of getting a job today.
That's crazy.
So getting a house is not freedom. A house is a freaking anchor. Okay. You don't need a house. You're not going to get rich because of a house. Warren Buffett's had the same house 30 years ago he bought. He did not make money in houses. Okay. And so these are mythologies. You can't do normal. You can't be average. You have to get multiple flows of income. You can't get one job like your dad did. You can't save money and put it in the bank and think that you're going to get rich. Nobody has ever gotten rich because they save money. They just get old.
Right. Let's change it up a little bit to my personal story. The true drive, the inspiration, that gut feeling that I have. I always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I never thought it could be a career. I had to go a traditional route, get a traditional job. Until I was 26, I woke up on my birthday. I was feeling sick. I knew that my new position in life was to become a motivational speaker. I want to be as big as Tony Robbins. I mean, I want to be the next big thing. What can you lay on me to get myself to that mindset and to that 10x approach to becoming widely super famous, all that stuff that comes along with it?
Well, first of all, I would tell you, you can definitely do that. Okay. You can do all that, but why? Why do you want to do it?
I want to help people. I want to have the intensity. I want to let them know, to get that confidence, that self-belief, that idea that they have everything that they need within to become their best possible self. So many times.
Yeah, but I mean, you can go down to the homeless shelter and help some people this weekend.
That's true.
So
that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So,
but that's not why you want it. So why you lying to me? Man?
Point.
See, dude, you got to get to the why. Yeah. Why? Because if your why is not giant, huge, the barriers to becoming the number one motivational speaker in the world and having the fame and the money and all that, the barriers are going to be so difficult. If the why is not so big, so deep, so rich, so threatening not to have, if you don't have it, so threatening to you that you're not going to persist through it. That means the game's got to be giant, not just, I want to be the biggest in the world. Why? Yeah. And I don't know what your why is. I know what mine is. Okay. Like I'm clear today about what my why is than ever before. And that's why I get up every day. Because let me tell you the most difficult part that schools never teach you. I was on a call with a lawyer yesterday and I got off the phone. I'm like, dude, man, they don't teach you any of this stuff in school. I mean, I'm having to make decisions between this deal and the law and the legal and the risk. And I'm like, oh my God, I mean, nobody teaches. You better know your why. Because at some points in life and in business, it becomes so overwhelming that you just want to kind of like retreat. And I'm like, immediately, I'm like, oh, that's one of the 4 actions, retreat. No, you need to confront this deal, dude. Now, why do you want to do this deal, Grant? Why do you want to do this deal? Because all this other stuff is just noise. So if I can get down to my why. So for instance, my why is to take care of my wife and my 2 kids. Sure. In a way that I never have to tell them no. I have another why that says I want to take care of my employees. Okay. I want to take care of them so my business is survivable when things contract again. Another why for me is I want my business to grow when I'm not here anymore. I want people to talk about me like you talked about Zig Ziglar. So people I won't even know going forward, 40 years, 100 years from now, hey, dude, that guy, Grant Cardone, man, he got my game on, man. I got his book, The 10X Rule, man. I got his Seller Be Sold book in Chinese. And so I want that, dude. Why? Because I do want to help people and I want my legacy to survive into time. Like we still talk about Steve Jobs like he's alive today.
No, for sure. No, that's very powerful, and thinking about, I guess, getting thrown on the spot, the why, is everything that you said, financially secure, and to prove to people that you can be somebody, to break that traditional mold, quote unquote, and going off of that and doing your thing and believing in yourself along that path, you're going to encounter. You're going to have to cut some people out of your life, and I've done that personally, and that is truly one of the hardest things that I had to go through because I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for them. I'm not doing it because I want to impress them. Like, hey, I got a podcast. Look at me. I'm the cool guy. No. I do it because I have my goals, my aspirations that I want in my life. How did you get over the people that were like, kind of push you off to the side and you broke a lot of good, probably relations, achieving after your...
I've never cut a good relationship, dude. They were all bad relationships that I cut. I don't regret having any of those people around me. I remember this, when I first started dating my wife, she had this friend named Monica. And the second time Monica came to the house, I told my wife, I said, look, the third time she comes in there, she acts like she did the first 2 times. She'll never come back to the house again. We're cutting her. Okay. And every time she came to the house, it was a problem, dude. Complaining, too much sugar. Yeah. She's menstrual. What do you call it? PMS, whatever whatever bullshit excuse she had,
Sure.
right? So everything's
Right.
a problem. This person's a problem. She doesn't get along with that person. Third time, I'm like, hey, you're not invited here anymore, dude. Cut. Look, I cut people out. If you're not cutting people out of your life, you cannot go get what you want in life. You got to cut anchor at some point. Mommies, daddies, brothers, uncles, aunts, if they're not going to support your freaking fire and let you burn hot, if they're not going to let you burn a bonfire and a brush fire, go wide and high, dude, cut them. Talk to them. See if you can handle them. If they're not willing to get on the team and be a cheerleader, you got to say, hey, you don't get to ride, baby. Okay, this is a magic carpet ride. Grant Cardone on Twitter, at Grant Cardone. This is the magic carpet ride. Let me tell you, I told my mom was brought up, her dad was a gambler. They never had money. She came out of poverty. She stood in the food lines in the 20s. She died about 3 or 4 years ago. But I remember maybe 10 or 12 years ago, I was telling her I was going into real estate. I'm doing this. I'm going into another venture and another business venture. And she's like, don't do it. I'm like, you know what? I don't want you talking to me like that anymore. Okay? We're going to do a little thing. Sit down right there. Here's a tape recorder. I'm going to ask you a question. This is what I want you to say. I actually typed out for her what I wanted her to tell me. I said, this is how you talk to little G. Because little G ain't little G anymore. Little G is a bad dude. Little G's a monster. Little G's going to 10X some shit. Little G going to change the world, dog. Okay? So when I tell you I'm going to start a new business, I want you to say what's on that line. What's on that line? She picked up the paper and read it. She's like, you can do anything. You never fail at anything. Your risks are well calculated. And more often than not, look, dude, I hit like 80 or 90%. Okay. If I was in the American Baseball League, I would be on the top of the Hall of Fame. In the American Baseball League, if you hit 300, you're a freaking star. In business, if you hit 80%, dude, you're rich.
For sure.
Okay. So that's the way I need my parents. I need my friends. I need my support mechanisms. If your support mechanisms aren't changing, you're not growing.
Yeah, damn right. We're running out of time. So last question.
No, come on, man. Why are you running out of time? You create time,
All right.
dog. Time.
So last question. What does a self-reset mean to you?
Dude, I'm self-resetting every day, okay? I got to tell you, me and my wife right now, we're on self-reset. Every Sunday, we sit down and look at our finances. First thing, every Sunday, we look at our finances, and then we look at, okay, where are we going? Because for me, it changes every week. I mean, literally every day, I become interested in something else. Every day, I'm resetting every day. What else do I want? And that's what I was going to say to you earlier. You know, it's actually easier when you're trying to make it than once you've made it, okay? Because I can start looking at my finances and say, dude, I don't need to do this every day. I don't need to do this radio show. I don't need to do this interview. I can't spend the money I have. I'm resetting every day so that I'm staying excited. Because at the end of the day, Jake, that's what's rich to me. Rich is not money. Rich is being interested. Rich is being excited. Rich is being, I'm going to do this interview. I can't wait to meet Jake. He's going to be my new friend. I'm going to add him. He gets me one person closer to 7 billion. You know, lots of people. So I get excited about that, dude. That's a rich life. And it's not just about money. It's about friends, family, business, interests, adventure.
Awesome. Grant,
I
I appreciate you.
Come on.
You want to keep this going? We got time? I don't know.
No, go ahead. No, we good, dude.
Okay.
We good.
So when you started writing these books and to inspire, you wanted to give than more than receive, just like we're talking about with Zig Ziglar, all right? And we realize now that you have so much power and compassion and everything like that. What is the next steps for yourself? Like, where do you want to go? Like, what's your goal? You know, what's your end game? Do you have one, or is it just to keep on reaching around the world and grasping it like you've been talking about?
Yeah, I don't know if I have an end game. I mean, my financially, my real estate, the real estate holdings that I have is, I want to build $1 billion real estate portfolio. I'm about a third of the way there now.
Congrats.
I want to have a book that sells 1 million copies. I'd like to have, at the end of the day, I'd like to have 20 million copies around the world. That's really nothing percentage-wise. Without me traveling all over the globe, I'd like everybody to know my name. I mean, I would like my name to be synonymous with sales, entrepreneurship, and business expansion. Yeah. I'm very, very interested in millennials. There's 75 million millennials, Gen Ys, between the ages of 18, 19, and 32 years old. I'm very, very interested in that group of people and providing them with some good, solid, meaty, content that they can sink their teeth into so they can get themselves out of the jam they're in, because your group is in a big jam.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. What about confidence? You have it within, and we talked. I heard it on a different podcast, and I forget which one it was talked about. It was about your 80% of the time you're introvert, and then 10% of the time you're extrovert. Like where does that fine line, and when did you start to pull out your emotions and your passion, and all that stuff? I love your drive. I love your energy. A lot of people want that. Like you just, what's your
dude? You got to stay in deals.
Yeah.
My confidence comes from deals. I'm in deals. I'm in lots of deals. I don't, this is where I think the planning and the whole time balance, manage your time. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't manage time. I don't plan, dude. I'm just freaking a maniac.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not that complicated. I think everybody tries to complicate it and tries to think that there's some science and some formula. Yeah. Here's the formula. Be a freaking maniac. I heard Jeff Foxworthy, the guy that does the, you're a redneck win. I heard him. I'll never forget. I was in Los Angeles at the time. We're shooting this out of Miami today where we live. But I was in Miami maybe 5 years ago. And he's like, I was doing 700. I heard him on a radio interview. He did 700 radio interviews a year for 2 years before anybody knew his name. Oh, my
God. Wow.
And I'm like, wow, man, that's that 10X mentality. You think you're just going to get out there. You're going to run an ad. You're an actor and you're going to put a little, hey, auditioning for a job or doing this show, or you think you're going to do one or two of those? You're wrong. You're going to do thousands and thousands and thousands of them. It is quantity. And this is contrary to what Steve Jobs and Gandhi both said. It is quantity before quality. You will never figure quality out until you do quantity first. You have to be frequent before you ever get good, contrary to what Steve Jobs said, which was quality is more important than quantity. I don't agree with that. Quantity, frequency before good.
And that applies to everything, to failing, to just getting out there, meeting people, connecting, the whole realm, correct? Yeah.
Everything, dude. Just quantity, add quantity. Anything and everything. If you want to tweet, if you think 2 tweets a day is going to do it, dude, you're wrong. You need quantity, not quality of tweets. You could have the one best tweet of the whole universe. So what? It's going to be lost here in about 12 minutes.
True.
By billions and billions of other particles that are going to cover that quality up.
Let's talk about failure real quick. In your time, in your life, the deals you made, you probably have failed at something that just didn't work out. It was a bad investment, whatever. Can you give us a quick summary of what it was and how did you get over it, like emotionally, mentally, to get yourself out of that funk?
Dude, one of the biggest losses of my life was I got involved with these bad guys in San Diego, California. They stole $3 million from me. I got involved in a deal that lost another $9 million.
Wow.
So I'm down $12 million. And it wasn't just losing the money. It was like the mistake. I made this mistake. I saw some things that I knew were out. And that's what the most painful part was, not the money. The money was very, very painful. Trust me. But what's more painful than that was that I knew something was wrong and I didn't go with my knowingness. I ignored it. Okay. And that, it took a couple of years. And my wife said 3 things to me. 3 words. She's like, you know what? You're going to get over this when you start to flourish and prosper again. And I'm like, what? She's like, you got to flourish and prosper, Grant. That's the only way to get over this. You have to flourish and prosper. That was 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now. And I wrote this book in 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon after she's told me those 3 words: flourish and prosper.
When you say you felt that emotional, was it a gut feeling? Was it your heart saying, do you listen to your gut and your heart?
There were indicators. The first time I met with these guys, I went to the Starbucks with the guy that was running the company, and he threw out the company credit card. He didn't own the company. The other guy he's like, I'll get the coffee. I said, how are you going to get it, man? I said, I'll get it. He's like, no, I have a company credit card for coffee. That was the first indicator.
Okay. What did that indicate? That
it's not discipline. What company would pay for a visitor? Why would the company pay for the employee's coffee? It's freaking ridiculous.
Right.
Now, it might not mean anything to you, but it meant something to me. Then he pulled out a black card, pulled out a black American Express card at the same time. I'm like, well, that's wrong too. That card costs $2,200 a year. Okay, you guys aren't rolling that deep. You're not ready for a black card. And why does one of the executives of the company have a black card? Fast forward, I find out they're broke, they're busted. It's a whole front. Da 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 da.
Sure. Well, thanks for taking us through that because I always find it interesting. You know, obviously we were.
Yeah, why you have to bring me back to that though? Man?
You know, it's so funny because you're all jacked up early on, and then you're like, well, and then he pulled out this credit card, and Jesus, you know, you kind of walk through. So I thank you for sharing that.
I just tell you what, those guys also gave me a gift though. Okay, the gift was the inspiration to literally. There was a goal that I had. I said I'm going to flourish at such levels that these guys are going to have to wake up and see me every single day. Because this is the thing about a thief, okay? Thieves are very creative people. The problem is they always steal less money than they could have made if they would just shift their attention and be ethical, okay? The amount of money I've made in the last 5 years compared to what they stole is like almost not measurable. So they're stuck in their contraction with their memories. They've lost all their money. I mean, they're broke. They're broke today. They're always going to be broke. And here I have and did exactly what my wife said, which was flourish and prosper.
Grant, dude, honestly, man, thank you so much for your time.
Brother Jake, you're the man, dude. You're a great example of what everybody should be doing.
I'm trying to do it. Hey, I was like you, but just small right now. But I'm going to 10X this bad boy, and I'm going to get this thing up and running, and it's going to be awesome.
Hit it.
So
anything I can do to help you, man, I will. I've already tweeted you out.
Okay, awesome, man. Thank you so much, Grant. We'll keep in touch. See you.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
So there you guys go. Grant Cardone on the Operation Self Reset podcast. I told you, intense guy. Sorry for some of those glitches. He was swearing, and I decided just to remove him instead of putting some crazy graphic beep noise or something like that. I don't know. But either way, thank you like always for joining me on the Operation Self Reset podcast. If you haven't already, it would be greatly appreciated if you went to iTunes and left a review for me. Every review helps. It allows me to get higher in the rankings, and I am doing great on iTunes. Truly, this podcast is dominating the self-help genre of iTunes. And also, too, if you know somebody that could benefit from Operation Self Reset, the best way to support this podcast is to talk about it. And if you want to talk about it with like-minded individuals, head on over to the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/OSR fan page. That's it. All you got to do. And just press like, and you will find out about Operation Self Reset. On the fan page, we have over 927 likes so far. It's dominating Facebook. I don't know. I think it's still kind of small considering there's like 8 billion people on Facebook, and there's only 7 billion people in the world. I don't know. So many people are making like 10 different profile pages of themselves. So who knows what's going on out there. But either way, thank you again. You guys rock. Stay tuned for next week, Monday, for another Motivational Minute. If you have a second, head on over to OperationSelfReset.com. Check out the new website design. It will blow your mind. And while you're there, head on or go scroll down about midway on the homepage. There's a little opt-in box for the Operation Self Reset Toolbox. You're going to get 6 high-quality, downloadable PDF files to help you on your transformation, to reset your life, to get yourself on track. You got a poster. There's 9 apps that truly have helped me transform my life. You got 20 questions to find your passion. You got an ebook. You got 100 quotes that I absolutely love. They'll get you motivated and inspired. And there's transforming tips to keep yourself on track. There's all the stuff. It's awesome. I put it together just for you because I know that a lot of you guys out there emailed me and go, hey, I'm looking for a place to start. Well, there you go. I put together these 6 high-quality PDFs in the Operation Self Reset Toolbox. Like I said, it's on the homepage. Just head on down about midway and just fill in your name and email address, and I will hook you up 100% FREE. Speaking of free, I will be putting together the giving away those 8 giveaways for the Operation Self Reset survey. So if you fill that out, stay tuned. And that's all I got for you guys today. So like always, you guys rock. You really do. I appreciate you so much. Without you, I would not continue to do this podcast. Make it a great day. Make it a great week. We'll catch you next week, Monday, for a Motivational Minute. And then next week, Wednesday, for another Operation Self Reset podcast. Take it easy. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.